Hello, welcome back. Alright, you ready for this one? Vegetable and barley soup, mate. I absolutely love barley in almost every soup. It's freaking just so yummy. Okay, so pearl barley. You will find it where all the spices are usually. Go down a little bit further and you'll see all your dried peas and everything you use for soups. That's exactly where you'll find the pearl barley. Now the day before we make the soup, we have to get half a cup into a bowl and fill it with water. And we need to soak it overnight till the next day. So what I do every hour or so while I'm up is I'll just tip the water out the top and refill it again. And after a while it goes clear. So now what I'll do is, it's been done overnight, is I'll stick it in a strainer and rinse it out. And we are ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to make the soup in 3 different stages to make it really easy for you guys and for you to remember. And I'm going to write the recipe below in the exact same way we do it as well. Now I'm just going to use whatever I've got here, but I'll also tell you what you can add. So with a veggie soup, you can add or take out anything you want, alright? Okay, so for the first stage, we get out a really big pot and we put a lump of butter or margarine in the bottom. Alright, next thing we need is 1 brown onion. So we want to peel it, chop it up and chuck it in the bottom. Now we want 1 red and we want 1 green capsicum. We just want to cut them open, clean them out, get rid of all the crap in them and then chop them up small. Then once we've chopped them up nice and small, we want to chuck them in the pot. Next you want to get 2 carrots and you want to peel them and then chop them up really small and chuck them in there. Now if you were to want to use celery, I would do the celery at this stage now as well. I would get a couple of stalks and chop them up really small and chuck them in there. And if you were going to use Brussels sprouts, I would say maybe use about 6, cut them into 4, each one into 4, and throw them in now as well. So we're going to saute this, which is just frying it up for a minute, the first lot. And Brussels sprouts are amazing when they've been fried up a bit first, alright? So yeah, chuck them in now. Now we need 2 large tomatoes and you want to chop them up really small and chuck them in there. I don't have any tomatoes, so I'm just going to chuck a 400 gram can of diced tomatoes in. Doesn't matter what gram can it is. So yeah, if you haven't got normal ones, just chuck a can in. And last and not least for this section is garlic. So you can have 1 to 4 cloves of garlic you want to crush in there, or I'm going to use a jar garlic and you can have 1 to 4 heaped teaspoons, and I'm going to chuck 4 heaped teaspoons in there. Then we're going to whack it on a medium heat. Once we've got it on a medium heat, you want to give it a good stir through, and we want to saute it, so we want to fry it for 5 minutes, constantly giving it a little stir. Once 5 minutes is up, take it off the heat, turn the heat off for a minute. Alrighty, as soon as that's done, I've just put a tea towel and put it back on the bench ready to go. Alright, the next thing we need to do is we need to get some, I like using the sweet paprika, but you can use whatever paprika you want. And you want to put 1 teaspoon in the pot. Now you want to get 2 bay leaves, dried bay leaves, and throw them in the pot. And when the cooking's finished at the very end, we pull them out. So I've got some that I dried out in my garden. Okay, now salt and pepper to taste, as little or as much as you want. Now we want to put 1 litre of chicken stock in there. Now we want to put our soaked and rinsed pearl barley in there. And it's worth the effort. Definitely do it for the day before because it really does make the soup. Alright, now we need 1 big sweet potato and 1 big normal white potato. And if you're going to do parsnip, you'd have 1 parsnip right now. And if you're going to have a big chunk of pumpkin, you'd do that right now as well. Alright, so we will need to peel and chop everything. Now, once you've added all the veggies, because I've only added a couple, if you added the parsnip and the pumpkin and that, and you haven't got as much juice, okay, so what you want is you want the juice to just be covering everything. Now, if it's down low because you've got heaps more stuff in there, all you've got to do is go over to the sink and add water until it's just covering everything. Okay, so this is the second stage done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stick it on a medium heat. We're going to bring it up to the boil. As soon as it starts boiling, we're going to turn it down to a simmer, and we're going to simmer it for about 35 to 40 minutes. Now while it's simmering for that 35 to 40 minutes, we want to give it a good stir through every 5 minutes or so, especially for about the first 20 minutes while the barley's cooking. because it will stick to the bottom if you just let it sit there. So make sure you give it a good stir every time you possibly can. Alrighty, now I've got that to a simmer. I'll put my timer on for 40 minutes, and now it's time to get stage 3 ready. So the first thing we need is some cauliflower. Now I'm just going to use half a small bunch, but you can use as much or as little as you like. We need one zucchini, so we're just going to cut that up and get that ready, the cauliflower. We need one zucchini. We want to peel that and chop that up nice and small and get it ready. We want broccoli, one bunch of broccoli, chop that all up properly and get it ready. Now if you've got some fresh mushrooms, get a big handful of them, clean them, chop them up to put in. I've only got a little can of little ones, so I'm just going to drain that and have to put that in. I've got a can of corn kernels. I'm going to drain them to put them in. Now if you've got fresh corn, just cut it all off of it. Frozen corn, doesn't matter what you got. And I'm going to drain a can and clean them. Clean and drain a can of chickpeas, and I'm going to chuck them in after. Now if you've got some silver beet, you can chop up 1 cup of that now and have that ready as well. So now that we've got all our soft veggies ready, we've just got to patiently wait for our soup and remember to keep stirring. So here's a few facts I thought you might appreciate. So bay leaf is high in vitamin C, A and folate. Now barley fights diabetes. So barley promotes healthy blood sugar by slowing glucose absorption. Sorry if I can't say it all right. So yeah, if you're a diabetic, eat as much barley as you can. Capsicums. Capsicums are known to lower the fat stored in blood capsules called triglycerides, and thus helps us in burning calories, vastly improving the body metabolism. So eat as much capsicum as you can. Alright, my favourite one, cauliflower, has compounds which have proven benefits against prostate, breast, cervical, ovarian and colon cancers by virtue of their cancer cell growth inhibitors. So cauliflower has inhibitors in it which stops the growth of cancer cells. How awesome is that? So munch on as much cauliflower as you can. Alrighty, so this is what our soup looks like after 40 minutes. Now you would leave yours on the stove still cooking while we do this next bit, but because of the steam I couldn't do that. I had to take it off and cool it down a bit to show you. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Oh, and the house smells amazing, mate. Absolutely amazing. I'm trying to get some barley in that. Look. It's beautiful. Okay, so now to that we want to add our broccoli, our cauliflower, our zucchini, your 1 cup of silver beet if you're putting that in, chopped up silver beet, corn, your fresh chopped mushrooms, or just like me, your canned ones if that's all you got, your chickpeas, drained and rinsed really well. Alright, now we want to give it all a really good mix through. And then we're just going to take it over to the sink and add enough water for it to just be covering everything. It won't take much. It looks like it will, but it won't. I reckon I'll put about 1.5 cups of water in then. Okay, now we've done that, we want to bring it back up to the simmer. Once it starts simmering, you can time it for a minimum of 5 minutes. So if you only just like your cauliflower and that cooked, you can just simmer it for 5. If you like it like me, I love everything soft and slushy. I'll leave it on until everything's soft and slushy. So 5 minutes to another 20 minutes, you know, depending on how you like it. Now once we've got it to the beautiful texture that we love, we take it off. You want to take the bay leaves out and throw them away. Alright, now what I'm going to do next is completely optional. It's totally up to you, okay? Everyone's different. So I'm going to get some Parmesan cheese. Now normally if I had the block one, I'd do some shavings on it, but I don't. I've only got some shredded stuff, so I'm just going to put some shredded Parmesan on there. I've got fresh parsley out of the garden, so I'm just going to chop a bit of that and put it on there. And if you like spicy stuff and that, you can always throw a few fresh chilies on top. And there you have it, my friends. vegetable and barley soup. I reckon 5 massive serves that would be. I mean massive serves. And if you add all the other veggies to it, geez, it could be like 8 to 10 serves. Now this is really good to freeze. You can freeze it in containers once it's gone cold, and just when you pull it out, thaw it out, and then put it on the stovetop on low, and always heat it up until it's really, really hot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have yourselves an awesome day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.